Good evening and welcome to IDG Chit Chat Live, the week of August 17th, 2015. Today we will be talking about last Sunday's Into the Vaults episode of Who Do You Think You Are? I hope everyone is ready. Hi everyone and welcome to Chit Chat Live. I'm very excited to be here with you today. My name is Shannon Combs-Bennett. I'm the creative director for the In-Depth Genealogist. Joining me this evening are Terry O'Connell, executive director, and our special guest, Marietta Britt, who is a genealogist from the Chicago area. Hi ladies, thank you for joining us.
Hello.
Jen Alford, our publisher, will be along shortly. She unfortunately is having some internet issues, so hopefully we will see her bright, chipper face popping up any minute. So, Marietta, for the audience who might not know who you are, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
I can. I live in the western suburbs of Chicago, and I started this process in researching my family genealogy, officially only about 12 years ago, but really about 16, 17 years ago. I finally got it on paper about 12 years ago, or on the computer, I could say. I focus, of course, on African American genealogy, but as I have combed through the documents and everything, I have just found a plethora of other people within my family. So even though it's primarily focused on African American, it is actually blended with a lot of other groups of people. So it's been a wonderful process, and I've discovered a lot of fun things, and I'm looking forward. Every day is a new chapter to the story.
That makes it exciting.
It does.
Do you say that's so true, Terry?
So true. There's always another cool find, something else you didn't see the first time, a new record. Always.
Always, always.
Yeah, and new records are being added all the time, so that's what makes it so fun.
You know, I'm glad you say that, because today I was on some kind of a board, trying to think what it was. One of the Chicagoland genealogists was just in Ancestry commercial. And it might have been under that, and people were complaining about Ancestry and how there's not enough records for those researching their African American heritage. So it's wonderful to have you here saying, yes, you can find information.
I can't find the documentation on, but I have some family that I've tracked back that were born about 1816, and they're documented through some of the census records. So you can definitely find a lot of information out there. You just have to know how to dig and just keep at it. And like I said, all kind of information is being added slowly, but it's getting out there.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, that is really great, actually.
Yeah, it is. So no, it's been a wonderful process. I've actually connected with a couple cousins that I spent the weekend with a few weeks ago, and I actually am spending this Saturday with a bunch of other people from that side of the family. So it's been a good process, because not only are they cousins, they are also now good friends.
Wonderful.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, it really is.
So, ladies, we're here to talk about, because we could talk about genealogy forever. But, so who wants to start? Does anyone have a favorite moment or something they wish they had seen from the best of episode that was shown last Sunday?
No, I didn't have anything I was explicitly looking for. I thought it was a waste of my time to watch beforehand. I thought, I'm not going to like it. I've seen all the shows. I've seen them repeated a couple times. You know, what am I going to get out of it? I loved it. I was glad I watched. I have it saved. I need to watch it again just to pick up on a couple more things. But I'm glad that they gave us insight to a couple of the clips that, you know, we weren't given prior, that made the stories make more sense, such as Julia. What was Julia's last name?
Julie Chen?
Yes. When they went to China and why he started the school.
That was amazing. Did you see that part where? Oh my God.
I did. It was phenomenal. I just got goosebumps after looking at it. It was just unbelievable because we always think that we can't find information, and boy, did they dig up some real gems with that research.
Mm-hmm.
I think it also speaks a lot to her ancestor's character because instead of, I don't know how I would feel if my mother was kidnapped and murdered.
Mm-hmm.
Let's be honest, I don't know how I would feel. And to think that instead of seeking revenge or becoming a bitter hatred and all that, he went about saying the problem is education. We need to support and educate and better our community. I mean, I think that speaks volumes about the type of a person he was.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
I would wholeheartedly agree. And to just kind of get real focused on it, and you can just see the passion that they had and the pride that they had once they discovered who this man was and what he did. It was just, it's just heartwarming.
Absolutely.
So, Jen, did you have a favorite part? I know you just joined us, and thank you, you're here. Yay, Internet.
Yeah. Yeah, of course it decided to go down right before we started. Well, honestly, some of my favorite parts were, just people being goofy, kind of the outtakes. I really enjoyed getting to see, some of the guys just goofing around and like Josh Groban being a nut. And,
that book scene was hysterical.
Yes. I really enjoyed that. But, really what I was surprised was how emotional it was. Like, there was like one montage where it was I think it was around the time when they were doing all the wows that they were talking, they were just like showing everyone's reactions to things, and I actually got kind of like teared up over it. So for me, it was just kind of like they packed all that emotion into that little segment, and it just made me so happy for these people that they were able to research their family and find out, the answers to some burning questions that they'd had. So to me, that was like, that's why I do genealogy, is, for that feeling you get when you finally find the answer, or you finally connect with someone else that you didn't think you ever would. So that was my favorite part of the show.
Were you going to say something?
All at once.
Oh, sorry.
That section got me too. I totally choked up on it, Jen.
Oh, good. I'm not alone.
No, you totally aren't alone. I was there going like this in the dark by myself.
Did you have a segment that spoke to you, Marietta, or did you have more to add to that?
Mine were more of moments. You know that there's emotion that goes into it, and I know I get excited. So it's nice to see that the other people get excited too when they see, wow, you mean that's my ancestor, that's my person, that's where I came from, that's the stock I have. And so I think that's always the best part of any of the shows, and I like that part of the episode.
Oh yeah. I loved at the end the reunion scenes. The one with Lisa Kudrow and with oh my God, I've blanked on her name. Where she finds her father's brother.
Oh,
yes.
It was so.
And he's like 96 years old. Yeah.
He's so tiny. It cracked me up when he's hugging him, and like he's like muffled in her hair because he's so tiny.
Who was the other one that did that too? Oh my gosh, who was that?
Yeah, I've completely spaced on her name, and it's gonna haunt me now for the rest of the night.
I watched it, and I'm like, who is she? Why? I don't remember this.
Oh my God.
But yeah,
it'll come to me after we hang up.
Yeah, right, exactly. Those were definitely great moments, just to see like these frail people enfolded into the love of family within the moment that they met.
Right.
What about you, Marietta?
Well, it's nice to get to see that first meeting. You never get to see the first meeting. Usually it's the parents that get to meet their child for the first time. But these are adults having first meetings, and it just so warms your soul and just makes you feel good.
Yeah.
So, no, I think there's nothing in it that really jumped out at me. I always love to see all the episodes, and I just kind of digest it all.
Well, so here's the one thing for you that I'd love to know what everybody's reaction to this was. It was the Valerie Bertinelli cutscene where her genealogy went back to God.
Yes.
Yes. That was awesome.
And I kept
I
going.
loved it. Wait, we should get Dave Lambert on.
Yes, that was awesome. I was just going, oh my gosh, we have to talk about this.
What were you going to
Jesus
say?
Christ. Oh, wait, it goes back further.
All I could think of was, is that the source for all those ancestry trees?
Maybe. That makes sure we're all connected at some point.
Yeah. And of course the history nut in me. And Mariette, I'm gonna let you know, the more you get to know me, the more things turn into a history lesson. Because
Okay.
they haven't started rolling their eyes yet, but they will.
Actually, I'll start the same thing.
Oh, okay, great. I mean, it kind of, really honed into me. It's like, well, there he is. He's proven, I am king by divine right. I have to be able to tie into those biblical records. But to see it, it was a really neat piece of historical documentation. And it just proves the gateway ancestor, because he had, Edward, who obviously was from William, who, so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Yeah, I'm not quite sure we'll all be able to track our family back that far, but I'll just automatically connect mine there and just say it is. I figure I'm on this earth.
There we go.
You can appreciate it.
Somehow.
We told her not to take it all for word, and if she wanted to know that she would really, up to William, she was good, but beyond that, research needed to be done.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good that he made that point, Obviously, the documentation isn't quite there, but...
Right.
He's a professional herald. He's required to make that point.
Yeah.
Once again, I'm just going to put it out there. One of these days, I'm going to find one of those scrolls with my name on it. Just saying. I'm going to find one. It's going to happen.
You
They told us he would roll it out.
go off to the Middle East somewhere and dig into some mountains and look for some clay pots.
That's right. That's right.
Be careful.
So I have to say, I was actually kind of excited that they brought up 3 of my favorite clips in this show. The Cynthia Nixon one, where she found out that her ancestor got pregnant when she was incarcerated, and and the discovering that she had murdered her husband article.
Yeah.
That one sticks with me. It really, really does. And then the other one was Sarah Jessica Parker's reaction when she found out about the Salem witchcraft trials. Oh my God, she was, yeah.
That was a good one. No, I wish they would have included Josh's in there. I swear on a stack of genealogy.
Yeah.
That was my favorite part of that episode.
Yeah. It was. Oh, and then my third favorite one was, because only a celebrity could think they could do this, because I'd have been too chicken, was Brooke Shields climbing up to touch Henry IV part.
I was
Can I touch you?
Well, she's.
But I liked his answer.
Okay.
I liked his answer. If anybody has a right to, it's you. Your family. That was awesome.
Yeah.
I'm sure that still isn't a good reason, but
Yeah, I was like, if I was doing that, I would fall and break something.
Well, I'm happy that they showed the clips of Ireland, that they showed Sean Hayes back in the courts learning about his ancestors, bringing charges against each other, and then Rosie's clip at the workhouse.
Mm.
And I got one thing out of that I had not picked up before, and I guess it's the only surviving workhouse. So, I won't tell you that I'm adding it to my list of things to see over there. It's already at 40. Now we got 41. But yeah, I was glad that they put those in.
Me too.
It's just the raw emotion, I think, just to see that raw emotion.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like Rosie, like there was no makeup. There was tears running down her eyes. She did not look like the Rosie O'Donnell you see, you know, all done up for whatever comedy thing she's got going on. So,
Right.
yeah. It was a great episode all around. And I hope that they'll continue to do this, maybe every year, throw a clip episode in.
That's an idea.
It definitely was a lot of fun.
You know, and especially those bloopers. Come on, that book slipping right out of Josh's hand was hysterical. Oops, yeah.
I liked. I'm one of these people. I'm a collector type person. I recently collecting has become taking pictures of historical things that I know my ancestors did or places they were at, because I can't, you know, take dirt home with me or rocks or plants anymore, you know.
Why not? Spike Lee did.
What?
Spike Lee did. He dug up the red Georgia clay.
That's what I was saying. The Spike Lee segment where they had him digging up the clay. I was like, I'm so glad they put that in there, because I love those parts of the different show where they try to connect with their ancestors by walking the land or seeing the sights or, you know, whatever it might be. And of course, I always yell at the screen by that time, it's red everywhere.
No, it's not. Not in Chicago.
Oh.
Yeah, we have real dirt.
Yeah, I know. That's the one thing I can't get over living out here on the East Coast, because I'm in Virginia and there's red clay.
Really?
Everywhere.
Well, we got dark, yucky dirt that turns to mud.
Oh, yeah, in the winter it's real pretty. But I know about the red dirt you're talking about, because Tennessee, most of my family's from Tennessee, Mississippi, Alabama area. There's lots of red dirt, so I know exactly what you're talking about.
And it stains. Just, if people don't know that, it stains. Don't wear white.
About it.
And of course, I had forgotten. It had been a while since I'd seen the Spike Lee episode, so talking about him. The other thing that I thought was interesting is when the historian brought the pistol out, because his ancestor was working in, was forced to be working in a Confederate pistol factory, and he actually brought a pistol that would have been made there. And I think that type of, you know, actually putting history into the hands of someone, that's always a moving, you know.
Just like the word.
Yeah. I mean, it was cool reading the sign and the historical placard,
Yeah.
but to actually hold something that may have been done by your ancestor or was produced in that, yeah, I think that was interesting and moving. I'm glad they showed that aspect too.
Yeah.
Well, I think it shows a lot about who we as genealogists are, because we're not the only ones doing these silly things. People who aren't, you know, genealogists on a day-to-day basis are out there doing the same things to connect. I mean, when I was in New York to go to the cemeteries where my Irish ancestors were buried, they worked at the slate quarry. Well, when we stopped on the side of the road, there was slate. You know, we all picked up pieces to take home.
Of course.
Right? It makes sense.
Yeah, when I was going through Tennessee, I actually stopped at a cotton field and picked some cotton out of, because I had never done it, I had never seen it before, and so I picked up some cotton out of a thing, because my mother even remembered picking cotton as a child, so it was a way to kind of connect.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
You know, and cotton is a pain. Just gonna put that out there too.
Literally.
Oh, it was a few years ago. I remember when I was really little, we drove from where I lived in Indiana to the middle of nowhere, Texas, because my grandmother was going to go down there and spend the winter visiting her oldest son, my uncle. And we stopped a lot. I don't know what state it was in, but I asked what all the white stuff in the field was because I'd never seen cotton before. And so my dad pulls over. I remember where we were, 2-lane road, middle of nowhere, and we get out, and he said, "Well, go pick some, and we'll look at it," and picking it off. And then I sat in the backseat of that car probably for the next hour, like picking out all the seeds and like analyzing. It was it was not pleasant work.
Scientists
and not a very good thing.
No.
But it's beautiful.
It is beautiful. And I kept that cotton forever. I think I finally got rid of it because it was like in a little jar when I went to college, but yeah. And so whenever people say they've never seen cotton, sometimes I have to remember that it's grown in very specific places.
Yes, that's true. And I always like to say I've seen it and I have picked it.
There you go. Mm-hmm.
Not much, but I've picked it.
Right. Gosh, it can't be already. Oh, it's already been 25 minutes. So,
Really?
anything else that we've forgotten? Any other thoughts?
I think you hit all the points.
It was a good show.
Yeah, it was a very good show. And I'm sure as soon as we get finished with this, we'll think of, oh, poop, I should have said this and I should have said that. But next time.
That's right. Well, hang on. Well, actually, we talked about this beforehand, and of course, I got excited about talking about other things. But I wanted to bring up the fact that I thought that it was nice that they were trying to educate the viewers on using record sources for the first time that I can remember. I mean, they usually do the historical insertion. You know what I mean? Put historical stuff into the show. But yes.
I think it's a bit of realism because I think people just automatically think that, poof, my ancestor just pops up on this one piece of paper automatically in front of me, just laid out very nicely. And I think it's really good for people to get a realistic view of things, that it takes some digging. It takes a lot of work.
Definitely.
It really does. It really does. But, it shows passion, and it makes people, I would hope it makes people appreciate what those of us who do it professionally go through on a daily basis.
Yeah, you would hope.
You're recreating history.
I think that's right. You got it right there in one.
Yep. That's
All
it.
right,
But I think that's why we get so passionate about it.
I'm going to agree with you. Yeah, yeah. I don't know what else to say that because that's perfect. I mean, we're all passionate. Yeah. Any other thoughts before we close tonight? Because I think that's a good note to close on.
Me.
Okay. Well, everybody, so here is your little preview for next week. Next week, we're going to be talking about Bryan Cranston's episode of Who Do You Think You Are? And in case you haven't read or heard anything about it, the little blurb that we were given says that Bryan Cranston, he had a happy childhood until his father abandoned his family when he was just 11. Oh, gosh, that's rough. Curious whether this is a family trait, Bryan sets out to explore his paternal roots, and he finds men both honorable and shameful, a troubling pattern of desertion, and even an aunt he never knew existed. So, hey, I think that's going to be a reunion episode. That sounds exciting. That sounds really exciting. So remember, we always love to hear from you, our viewers. Please drop us a line in the comments below. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, or just send us an old-fashioned email at editor@theinDepthGenealogist.com. And on that note, have a great day, everyone, and remember to go in depth with all of your ancestors. Bye, everyone.